Andy, last weekend we fielded Russell Earnshaw of ex-Bath fame. How did that come about?
Um, I've got to know Russell through the England Sevens setup. David Feltham and I, once the season is finished, help out at Twickenham when they have the Sevens circuit hits London. And for the last 2 years, certainly I have been with Dave, and we've been with the England team. And obviously, that's head coach of that is Ben Ryan, and Russell is one of his assistants. So I've got to know Russell through that. And last Sunday evening, I got a phone call from Russell saying that he had recovered from his shoulder surgery and that he needed some rugby game time to start getting back on the progress to playing again. And would we be able to help him out with some game time? And he would be more than happy to come down and play for us. So, with someone of that experience, 35 years old, played Premiership, played at Doncaster and Rotherham, director of rugby at Birmingham Solihull at the moment, and then obviously his experiences with the England Sevens, I wasn't going to turn that down, particularly as we'd been picking up a few injuries ourselves. So that's how it came about. It took a few days to get off the ground, and hopefully he will give us some more games. He's on loan to us. He was not going to be available this weekend or the next 2 weekends because he's off with England Sevens. They're in Dubai and then South Africa after that. But he enjoyed his first game. He needed some game time. He felt that it took him over a half to realise that his shoulder was going to be okay. You can do lots of things in training, hit millions of tackle bags, but it's not until you're actually in the thick of it that you can convince yourself that you're okay. So it's maybe a bit much to expect him to come out and put in a storming performance and turn tables on our behalf when really he just needed to get some game time. Second half, I thought he played a lot better, and obviously players started to link with him and he started to link with them, so we saw a little bit more of him. But it's something that's there, and hopefully we'll be able to use his experiences again.
Okay, it was a tough match on Saturday. Can you pinpoint any particular issues?
Well, we talked about it at half time and a little bit at the end of the game. I just felt that we didn't do ourselves justice in the first half. We've been on the end of some pretty tough scorelines since the beginning of the season. But at no stage, we've always had, when we've got the ball, we've given it a go and tried to take it to the opposition. And maybe we were a bit nervous, and certainly I think they were a bit nervous in the first half. Two sides who hadn't won a game knew that one of them was going to win it at the end of the day. And we just allowed them to get into their stride, and they've left the pitch at half time with a little bit more of a spring in their step. And we hadn't really done anything to dent that confidence at all. And then in the second half, obviously they came out and they scored early on. Now, we then sort of picked up, and for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, played pretty well. And you just felt if we'd have played like that for the first 20 minutes, half an hour, dented their confidence a little bit, would that put them on the back foot, wondering what the heck was going to happen? If we'd have done that, then that might have just put some question marks in their mind, and we may well have, been certainly a little bit closer, if not in front, and it might have been a completely different game. That's the nature of rugby. Why couldn't we get into our stride? $1 million question, really. Nobody goes out determined to play a bad game, and you can't put your finger on it, but we just didn't fire, and it was a bit disappointing. Line out didn't go as well as it has been going. I mean, our line out's been fairly solid. Maybe they just read it and got ahead of Andy Cannock a couple of times, so we didn't get as clean a ball as we like to. And that's one of those situations, one of those learning environments where Andy needs to think, right, okay, how can we overcome this? How can I overcome it? Do I stop calling to me and get to Ben or to the back a little bit more often? We didn't fire there. A little bit unstable at the base of the scrum, so just disappointing in the first half, really.
Okay, so we've got Shelford on Saturday. How are we doing for availability and squad for that match?
Well, we were doing okay until last night and this morning, when the university group start to send me through their texts. Some are at least they send me the text. It might not be what I want to read, but at least they they do text me. Others I don't hear from at all, and so I'm in limbo in that respect. But Tom Bax, who played tight head on Saturday, has texted me saying that he's picked up a groin strain playing for the university yesterday, so he's not going to be available. Tom Fiddler is okay. I have registered a player this afternoon who I know from a couple of years ago, played here when he was younger, and he contacted me and said he wanted to start playing at a higher level again. He has been playing, so it's not as if he's not played at all. He's kept himself fit, and he worked on a building site, so hopefully he kept himself strong as well.
What's his name?
His name's Luke Sawyer, who will play tight head. Robbie Arthur unfortunately got injured playing for his university yesterday, got a kick to the head. Now I'll wait another 24 hours and see how he feels tomorrow. But it would be good to have him on the bench now because with Tom Bax injured, Jack Corn, who's one of our Colts who went with us to Jersey, is available. So we will just about get there. Hopefully, if Robbie's fit from a front row replacement point of view, we'll have adequate cover. Away from that, it's not a bad group that's available. Ben West and Andy Cannick is fine. Greg Price, Paul Archer, and Claude. Then obviously although Jack played some rugby yesterday for the university, I need to find out how it is, but we've always got Andy Gale anyway. Will Clark, and then Steve Datcher and Martin Freeman, Ian Herriot, Johan, who probably was the, again, he was a young man coming back from a long layoff, 12 months, 18-month layoff with a sort of a pelvic injury, and so he had to get through just playing rugby again. He's been training since pre-season, and he got better as the game went on, as he got more and more confident that he was going to be okay, and he showed a little bit of pace and certainly some determination in chasing people down and putting in some fine tackles. So that was a positive from the weekend, was how well he went. And then we're still waiting for Oscar to get back to us. He's been out for a couple of weeks with ribs. I know he played for the university yesterday. By all accounts, he got man of the match. So hopefully he got man of the match because he played well rather than because he went off injured. We'll get a phone call from him, or he'll turn up tonight and we'll have him playing at fullback. And then there's David Ferguson and Joe Gren, Ed Finley, Tim Parker. So there's a good number, who are also in the frame as well.
Okay, so we look forward to Saturday then.
Yeah.